was conceptualized as a regional project, which will connect not just regions within our country, but also extending across the border into Tanzania.
This is a very long road that connects several places of international importance, but that traverses two countries.
On 12th of December 2019, the East African Coastal Corridor Road project, dubbed the Coastline Transnational Highway, traversing from Malindi to Bagamoyo Road, was launched.
Bagamoyo-Marid Highway is actually a project which will cover about 454 kilometers, coming from Tanga region in Tanzania, in Bagamoyo, and ending up in Malindi. And so it's one of the many regional projects which we are implementing to make sure that we can have better integration, not just within our country, but also the entire region.
The road project, which is deemed to be of utmost significance to the continued growth and development of the region, required substantial improvement on the existing road infrastructure.
Sita ambayo tunapata kwenda Mombasa is just only 30 minutes. So utakuta tunachukua 1 hour because jam.
Barabara hii ikiongezewa itakuwa inapunguza jamu na msukumano wa magari wa hapa kwa hapa.
Hii barabara kwa saa hii ni kama imekuwa congested sana. Kwa hivyo ningesema kama serikali imewania kuipanua, tungeshukuru sana, manake upande wa jamming itakuwa imepunguza jamming kidogo, na itakuwa pia upande wa accident itakuwa ime-minimize sana.
Hii ilikuwa na madhara mengi, hasa sana ni ajali barabarani zimekuwa mingi. Sasa wengine unahofia kutokana na ile masaa kutoka late, unapata mtu akipiga full lights, ukitoka kidogo unatoka kwa barabara. Sasa inapokuwa barabara ni narrow, inakuwa ni shida.
Recently you had the many accidents which happened around Gede, and basically because of the shoulders. Actually there are no shoulders. So if a driver is not careful and he misses to go to the other side, it can be very dangerous. And that is what was the cause of accidents.
To this end, the ambitious road project was birthed. Cutting across Kenyan and Tanzanian landscapes, the project aims to transform the entire regional corridor into an economic hub.
The new project is supposed to solve the problem of congestion, safe usage of the road, issues to do with the traffic mixes. We have motorized traffic and non-motorized traffic. The new road is supposed to address matters of being able to put in facilities for non-motorized traffic, as opposed to the current situation where the place where pedestrians are using, the same place where the vehicles are using, is the same place where the motorbikes and tuk-tuks are using, and that makes it unsafe to use the road.
Implemented by the Kenya National Highway Authority, KENHA, the project is to be executed in phases, with the first phase along the Kenyan coast being the 54-kilometer Mombasa Mtwapa Cliffy Road section.
The biggest challenge we've had is that section, basically from Nyali going to Mtwapa. I'm sure you've seen the kind of congestion which people experience every day, because most of the hotels, to start with, are actually located in that section. There's a lot of commercial activity coming all the way from Nyali Bridge, going to Mtwapa.
Right now, the highest priority, we are focusing on Mombasa Mtwapa, which is approximately 15 kilometers. You'll realize that the sections which have been prioritized are those sections which are handling higher volumes of traffic, especially commuter traffic coming in and going out of the city every morning and every evening.
One thing also about this road, of late it has become very busy, and because of the narrowness, especially there are many trucks which use this road, and it can become very dangerous, especially at night.
The drainage, particularly around Bombolulu area, it floods. The area is low, and it is quite a nuisance. The water is not able to be drained from people's residences.
In order to solve all these problems and provide an efficient road network along the corridor, the project shall involve well thought out roadworks.
The section in Mombasa will be basically dual. That means it will increase the capacity, so that will reduce the element of the traffic jams. The drainage, where we are supposed to be having a very big trunk drain that will be able to drain water. So we expect that much of the flooding that is around Bumururu area, that is around the Likoni areas, should be able to be improved.
For purposes of reducing congestion, the designers have ensured that all the major junctions are grade separated. We have interchanges. The vehicles which are turning in have been, the designers have ensured that they will be turning in at a different level from the vehicles which are going through. This ensures that if someone is intending to go from Mombasa, to leave Mombasa, say go to Malindi, they do not have to get to Kengeleni Junction and stop waiting for someone who is turning in for them to get a chance to proceed. They will basically just go on the main carriageway, go up, and then drive on without having to stop.
In conjunction with other stakeholders and donors, Kenya National Highway Authority (KENHA) has embarked on this project in line with its mission of developing quality and adequate trunk roads nationally.
African Development Bank, as you know, is a premier Pan-African bank, which is actually owned mainly by African countries for development. So when there's a project which affects more than one country, they become very key. So there are roads which we call regional development roads. This is one of them. By doing those roads, it meant that the objective of connecting Tanzania with Kenya becomes a lot easier because both countries are members of the ADB. You are actually supporting two countries doing one project. And so it helps in terms of economies of scale.
The foreseeable benefits of the projects are wide-ranging and shall positively impact many aspects of the economy, local businesses and day-to-day experiences of many Kenyans.
To serve transporters and people who are traveling from Tanzania to Kenya and Kenya and Tanzania, it will also serve people who are evacuating cargo from the port of Mombasa, the port of Lamu, and as well as even the port of Dar es Salaam, because they could still be able to use part of that corridor to deliver their cargo to different destinations. It will also be able to serve the local traffic. People who say live in Mombasa and they are coming to work in the morning, going back home in the evening.
Once it is completed, business will improve dramatically kwa sababu there will be enough space ya magari. So people will not be worried that atachelewa kufika ama atafika nyumbani kuchelewa.
The tourism and transportation sectors shall experience a boom as well.
We have tourists because you will realize that that road runs through the entire coastal strip, which basically is the biggest tourist center for our country, not only our country but also our neighbors in Tanzania.
The attractions on this particular site, you have all the beach hotels, you've got the fantastic beaches. For instance, Nyali Beach, the entire stretch has got close to 10 hotels. Then you skip to Bamburi Beach, which has got another 12 hotels. Then from Bamburi Beach you jump to Shanzo Beach, again another 10-15 hotels. And then now you go into Mtwapa side, which may not have had great development in terms of beach hotels, but there's a lot of residential houses there and a lot of holiday homes. So there's a lot that you can do in the North Coast if we get our infrastructure right, which we are now about to embark on. That is music to our ears, and we'll love to see that happening.
With the ordinary road user also set to enjoy these benefits.
Kama barabara itakuwa sawa, watu watakuja wengi kujenga manyumba, watakuja kwangu kuchukua mchanga kwa leba, kokoto, kila kitu itakuwa sawa.
Usafiri utakuwa rahisi na wasalama kabisa. Hata masaa yote mnasafiri na mchana, usiku bila hofu.
Always eyeing the bigger picture, the Coastline Transnational Highway fits perfectly into our national and regional goals.
Developing a country cannot be done satisfactorily. Without connectivity, without communication, without movement of goods, without movement of people, without enabling all these activities to happen in a manner that is safe. And so this road becomes a key enabler, a key component of development.
This road will help in terms of moving food from areas which grow food in the south towards the north, and therefore making sure that we also take care of that issue of food security.
And so far, we are on course with Mombasa Mtwapa Cliff section of the project still on course for completion on time. The Mombasa Mtwapa Kilifi Road is just a tip of the iceberg in the transformation of coastal region into an economic powerhouse. Its positive effects will be felt far and wide, all over the region and beyond.